Sacrifices are being made everywhere in America except in Washington, D.C. In Washington, D.C., it's spending as usual. One conclusion is clear. Washington, D.C. just doesn't get it. They don't understand where the heart and the mind of the American people are at.
Wow, that's a Republican saying that. Let's talk to him.
What do you mean, wow? I don't even get that. What are you talking about?
I think you could argue that the Republican Party is searching also.
Okay, I'm going to let you.
All right, here with us now, Republican representative from Indiana, Congressman Mike Pence. Congressman, thanks for joining us.
You bet, guys. Good to be with you all.
I want to hear more about the statements we just ran, the clip we just ran of you, because you say Washington, D.C. doesn't get it. Expound upon that, if you could.
Well, I just think you look around every kitchen table in America, Mika, and every small business in America, people are finding expenses they can put off. They're finding ways to tighten their belts. But here in Washington, D.C., it's really spending as usual. We're on a long string of borrowing and spending and bailouts. Last night here in the Senate, they passed the largest increase in discretionary spending since Jimmy Carter was president, with 9,000 earmarks. So I think Washington is pretty tone deaf. They're out of step with the sacrifices the American people are making, and candidly, so's this administration. The president's budget outlines a massive increase in spending and taxes, and we're going to tell the American people the president's plan in this recession spends too much, taxes too much, borrows too much, and Republicans have a better plan.
I would agree with you on the earmarks, for sure. I'm concerned, though, about the criticism about a long spree of spending when we just came off 8 years of that run by the Republicans. And I guess my question to you would be, if the administration wasn't passing the budget and the stimulus plan and all these other plans, wouldn't we be complaining that they're not doing enough to deal with the economic crisis we face?
Well, it's important that Washington depart from the pattern of runaway federal spending of the last 8 years. You know, Joe knows I was one of the most ardent critics of the Bush administration and of my own party in Congress during a period where we ran up deficits and debt, we expanded entitlements, expanded the federal government's role in education. I think when the American people fired the Republican majority in '06 and to some extent again in 2008, they were saying, we don't want any more red ink, we don't want any more runaway spending as usual, we want a difference. But unfortunately, the Obama administration and Democrats on the Hill are doing more of the same. It's runaway federal spending on steroids, but the American people know we can't borrow and spend and bail our way back to a growing economy. What we got to do is get fiscal discipline in Washington, D.C., and add to that the kind of immediate tax relief that will release the entrepreneurial energy of every American small business and every family farm and every family.
You know, Mike, by the way, it's the top of the hour. It's 8 o'clock on the East Coast. We're talking to Congressman Mike Pence, one of the Republican leaders in Congress. Mike, I want to follow up with what you said to Mika, because you're right. You were one of the few Republicans over the past 8 years that was restraining spending, or trying to restrain spending, when
Thank you, Joe.
Your own Republican president and leaders in the Republican Congress were spending as recklessly as Democrats ever have. And people get angry at me when I say that, but it's the truth, first of all, is it not, Mike? And secondly, how do you change the Republican brand so people can once again trust that Republicans are conservative and not just doing this because there's a Democratic president?
Well, I think it's a very fair point. And I may have been the only one on the Hill talking about it, but you were criticizing Republicans on the airwaves of America, even though you're a loyal conservative yourself. Look, the truth is, a lot of people thought 2006 the Republicans lost because of scandal, but the real scandal in Washington, D.C. was runaway federal spending under Republican control. How do we get it back? Number one, I think we have the humility to admit that we lost our way. But number two, I think Republicans need to get out there and be willing to make the tough choices, take the tough stands, as we did on the so-called stimulus bill, as Republicans overwhelmingly did in the House and the Senate on this omnibus bill that passed last night. Dig in, demand fiscal discipline, and be willing to take those tough votes. That's how we're going to win the credibility back on those issues. But it all begins by admitting that we lost our way, but we're going to get back to, as we say in Indiana, dancing with what brung us.
Yep, Mike Barnacle.
Hey, Congressman, I've always respected your consistency. Your great state, Indiana, home to Larry Bird and the University of Notre Dame, has been particularly devastated.
Yeah, it has.
Over the last couple of years, given the economic crisis in America. So, given the devastation, who's going to bail out your state? The American Red Cross or the federal government?
Well, let me tell you what, Hoosiers are resilient, Mike, but because of our dependency on manufacturing and to a large extent our dependency on the American automotive industry with domestic suppliers, Hoosiers have been distinctly hit. My district's been distinctly hit. But I'll tell you what, you know who I believe in my heart's going to bail out Indiana is the people of Indiana and the people of America. If you give Hoosiers, small businesses, family farmers, working families, more of their hard-earned tax dollars this year to reinvest in ways that will create jobs and set right their own family balance sheet, we're going to bring Indiana's economy roaring back. We're going to bring back the economy of this country. But I just think, you know, we don't have enough money here in Washington, D.C. to bail out every failing business in America. Hoosiers know that. Americans know that.
All right, Congressman Mike Pence, thank you very much for coming on
Mike,
the show
great to see you again.
Great to see you all. Appreciate it.
And again, I agree with Mike. Thank God there are a couple consistent people here, and we have been bringing these consistent conservatives who went after George Bush and went after, you know, all the big pork spending bridge to nowhere projects. There are some people there that are consistent.
Yeah,
and it's good to hear from them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. You're seeing younger people like this that aren't trying to play for sort of the K-State crowd.
Or that aren't hypocrites because they were playing another game a few years ago.